into tangible results that are improving communities statewide, from passing marriage equality and the nation's strongest gun safety laws, jump-starting criminal justice reform efforts, and taking historic steps to protect the environment. Governor Cuomo has restored New York's status as the progressive capital of the nation. And by investing more in education than ever before, driving down unemployment in every region of the state, and fighting to bring fairness and dignity back to workers statewide, the governor is continuing to make this state a place where all people can succeed. Now, please join me in welcoming the 56th governor of the great state of New York, Andrew Cuomo.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Boy, what a day. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be with you. My blood is running. First, to Sheila Komar, let's give her a big round of applause for all the great work she's done. To Basil, who's doing a great job running the party day to day. We thank him for his good work. Reverend Richardson, who was always just a pleasure to hear. Isn't he just beautiful? Reverend Richardson, thank you very much. And you're going to hear from two very important people, Mario Salento, who is our partner in the labor movement and has been doing great work on our agenda. Mario Salento, thank you. And Melissa Mark Viverito, who's going to speak to you about paid family leave in a little bit. Melissa Mark Viverito is doing a great job. So, go ahead and eat. I'm very comfortable with people eating and talking at the same time. I grew up in an Italian house, so go ahead. Don't let the salad get cold. This is an election year, and I am excited about it, and you can feel it starting to take shape. And it is going to be an important, and it's going to be a profound and an energetic election year. And you can feel it coming. I believe and I hope that Hillary Clinton is going to be the nominee of the Democratic Party. If I had to guess, and it would be just a guess, it would be Mr. Trump on the other side, although I am no expert in Republican politics, I can tell you that. But whether it's Mr. Trump or Mr. Cruz or Mr. Rubio, it doesn't really matter because they're all saying the same thing, just at different decibel levels. And you're going to have in this election a very, very stark choice for this nation to choose. Because you hear loud and clear what they're saying on the other side. They know that we have problems. They know that we have issues. They know that there's anxiety among the body politic. And what they're saying is, I know you're mad. I know you're angry. I know you're scared. And they're fanning the flames of that fear. And then they're giving them a very simple solution and a very simple target for the problem. And what is the problem? The problem is people who are different than us. That's what it comes down to. Think about it. People who are different, and different is bad. Whether it's gay people who believe, as this nation's court found and as this state passed, that they have a right to marry, whether it's women who believe they have the right to choose to control their own body. But the difference is symbolized for them with the immigrants. It's the immigrants. It's the people who are coming into this country, and they're different than me, and they're different than you, and that difference is the problem, and the immigrants symbolize that problem, so the solution is simple. We make a list with all the immigrants, we go down the list, we kick them all out of the country. And then we build a big wall a big wall, and that will be the answer. I mean, a big wall. 10 foot high. I got 10 foot higher this weekend. I don't know if you heard. 10 foot higher. It's going to be on time and it's going to be on budget like the China Wall. Big. And we're going to do that, and that's the answer. A list, kick out the different people, and then make sure they don't come back. You're going to make America great again. You don't understand what made America great in the first place and what makes America great today. Our answer is going to be the exact opposite. Yes, we have differences among us. That's what makes us who we are and what we are. The differences aren't a weakness. The differences are a strength. That was the premise of this nation. That's the Statue of Liberty. Come one, come all. I don't care your race, your color, your creed. We'll work with you. And from this different group, all bringing their own strengths and cultures, we will forge one. And the one will be stronger for the combination of assets and talent. That was the premise of the nation. That is the American experiment in democracy. Invite everyone in and forge one community. E pluribus unum. Out of many, one. Problem is now immigration. Who's not an immigrant? Mr. Trump, Mr. Rubio, Mr. Cruz, are they Native Americans? I may have missed that. No. Well, then they're immigrants too. We're all immigrants. And that is the strength of this country. And that's going to be the discussion in the presidential campaign. We also had a good discussion on what it means to be a progressive Democrat. My father, God rest his soul, used to talk about, define himself as a progressive pragmatist. Now, he always had a use of words that made you pause and need a thesaurus to figure out what he was talking about. Progressive pragmatist meant what? Meant as Democrats, we want to have great ideas and bold ideas and big visions, but we want to get something done. Because we believe, as Democrats, that government is a service bureau and it has to work. It's not just about advocating ideals. It's about accomplishing something in the real. Progressive vision that can actually get done and make this nation a better nation and improve the lives of people. A progressive who gets results. That's what progressive pragmatist is. And that's what this race has been all about. And that's what we're doing here in the state of New York. And Sheila was exactly right. You look at what we did in the past few years. First, we set the bar high and established a national standard on social justice and social equality. We stood up and we passed marriage equality, and it resonated through the entire country. We stood up and we passed gun control when they said we couldn't pass it and no one could pass it and they ran afraid of the NRA. We passed the SAFE Act, the smartest gun control in the nation, and we did it here in New York. We stood up on the issue of the environment and protecting the environment, and we have the toughest standards of any state. We're getting out of the coal business by the year 2020. We stopped fracking in New York, and now they're learning the dangers of it. So we established the benchmark for social justice and social progress. This year, we're going to establish the benchmark for economic justice and economic progress. We're now going to put the economic component on that social justice equation. And we're going to do it with two things. $15 minimum wage, so you pay working people a wage that they deserve. You honor FDR's theory of a decent living. The $15 minimum wage is going to touch 2.2 million New Yorkers, and it's long overdue. You know where we got 15? If you take the minimum wage in 1970, index it for the rate of inflation, you know where it takes you to today? Our $15 proposal. It gives people a decent living. The second initiative is 12 weeks of paid family leave, because you can't ask a person to stay home without pay. It's a false choice. We will also this year tackle the failing schools throughout the state. Failing schools in parts of this state have been failing for over 10 years. Just think about it. Failing school in a community that needs assistance for 10 years, and we've been sending children year after year after year to the same failing school. This year, we're going to turn all those failing schools into community schools, bringing in the services to fight poverty, add nutrition, after-school care, mentoring help, gymnasium, recreation, keeping them open at night. You put the two together, we will have shown this nation what progressive government is all about. We will have done it in a real context. This is not just theory. We accomplished it, Democrats and Republicans, in the Assembly and the Senate, upstate and downstate, forging consensus around a real progressive agenda. So don't tell us it can't be done, because we've done it here in the state of New York. And then, my friends, we have an important piece of business to do today, which is the nomination of a truly outstanding senator as our Democratic choice, Senator Chuck Schumer. Now, when you talk about making government work, you talk about improving lives, you talk about achieving progress, you're talking about Senator Chuck Schumer. He is an icon for the theory of a progressive who gets results. He spent his whole career advocating a progressive vision, but also taking the action to make that vision a reality. He was one of the first to stand up to the gun lobby, which I have deep, deep respect for, and showed national leadership on the gun issue, which is one of the toughest issues for an elected official anywhere, and let's give him a round of applause on that. But when New York has a need, he is always there. When it was after 9/11, and he brought back $20 billion to help us rebuild. After Hurricane Sandy, $50 billion to rebuild. We couldn't have done what we did without that federal money. Recently, we ran into trouble in upstate New York with the Kraft Heinz plant, 1,000 jobs. And when you lose jobs in upstate New York, that's a real problem. And the senator, working with the state, we call it the 1-2 punch. From the north and from the south, we hit you. Kraft Heinz saved jobs. We've saved jobs with Alcoa in Messina, all across the state. He is always there. He's always working, and it's always about the state of New York. Now, he's going to have some other national duties. We hope, we hope, we hope. And all the good work we've done, I think, is even going to be better served in the future. We have the Tappan Zee Bridge underway here. We have the Gateway Tunnel underway. We have LaGuardia Airport underway. We're rebuilding all the infrastructure. And that wouldn't happen without the help we're getting from Washington. I truly believe the best is yet to be for the state of New York. This is going to be a great year for the state. We're going to have a new president who points this country in the right direction and who wins over the naysayers and those who would spread fear rather than hope. We'll have a great senator in a powerful position, and then you're going to watch this Empire State really take off and be the Empire State once again. Thank you and congratulations to my friend, Senator Chuck Schumer.